हारी हुई औरत कोई भी नहीं होती, उसको ज़माना हरा देता है। अब औरत को और एक हारी हुई औरत को अगर एक उंगली पकड़ाएंगे ना, you are going to see how much she is going to shine.
बात करते हैं ख़वातीन की वर्कफोर्स में शामिल होने की।
I think everything is leveling up for women and the future is for women.
Why working moms are guilty?
यही बताया गया कि अगर खातून अगर घर से निकल रही हैं और काम कर रही हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि पीछे कुछ इग्नोर कर रही हैं।
Struggles are often ignored by women themselves.
It's a reality कि women never got a level playing field. It's part of our social
तो
conditioning.
आपके ख्याल में कि ये सोसाइटी है जो उनको गिल्टी करती है और ये एक नैरेटिव है जो वो एटीट्यूड को अडॉप्ट कर रही हैं?
Absolutely.
औरतों की जद्दोजहद को समझना इतना मुश्किल क्यों है? I welcome you to MT Out Loud, जहाँ पे बस बात कर दो। मैं हूँ आलिया आगा एंड टुडेज टॉपिक इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। हम बात करते हैं ख़वातीन की वर्कफोर्स में शामिल होने की, और बहुत सारा काम भी हमने किया है, पॉलिसी लेवल्स पे भी किया है और प्रोग्राम लेवल्स पे भी किया है, एडवोकेसी भी बहुत सारी हुई है। लेकिन आज हम ऐसे पहलू देखेंगे जहाँ पे ये बिल्कुल पॉलिसीज़ जो हैं टच नहीं करती हैं। वो क्या है? इमोशनल बर्डन्स, जो ख़वातीन एक लेबर की तौर पे ये बर्डन्स प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में जो एक्चुअली इनको फील होता है। फॉर दिस डिस्कशन टुडे वी आर having Amra Mubashir joining us. She has been in the corporate sector for 20 years. She is currently heading the HR, the Human Resource Department of a national level company. Welcome, Amra.
Thank you so much, Alia. It's really a pleasure. बहुत खुशी हुई मिलके यहाँ पे आपसे. Really a pleasure.
Amra, what's next for women?
Well, I think everything is leveling up for women and the future is for women. A true liberation जिसमें औरतों के पास आज़ादी और उनको पता है कि who they are and what they want to be. I think there's such hope, positivity out there for women.
आप ह्यूमन रिसोर्स की हेड हैं। आपके ख्याल में या आपकी ज़बान में परफेक्ट एम्प्लॉय क्या होता है?
आजकल के दौर में परफेक्ट एम्प्लॉय की डेफिनेशन आलिया चेंज हो गई है. So those were the days, gone are the days actually, where the employee was supposed to really follow what the bosses are telling them and just kind of execute the orders. The world is changing. Now the generation, they want to do their own work through freedom, empowerment, autonomy. And that's what's defining the perfect employee, the one who can really understand that what is the vision, what is the mission, what is the overarching strategy, and can then just execute, make plans, execute them with autonomy, empowerment, freedom, and with excellence. So that's the perfect employee.
That's a long menu. आप मुझे बताइए, what's a perfect wife?
Well, on the perfect wife also, things are changing. To me, the perfect wife is the one now who really understand what her rights are. कि उनके अपने क्या rights हैं. What are the responsibilities and roles going to be? No gender roles, where men and women are working together. The dual careers are happening right now as we speak. We have young parents. So the perfect wife is the one who understands who she is, what she brings to the table, and then very categorically can contract the marriage and maybe recontract the marriage to take up the roles and responsibilities that she really wants to have and flourish and make the family flourish in all of that. So that's the perfect wife.
Amra, why are women still invisible in the workforce? And I mean, you have often mentioned in your writings and you have also written for Margala Tribune. आप लिखती हैं, struggles are often ignored by women themselves. Why are these things so unspoken? क्यों औरतें इसके बारे में खुद बात नहीं करती हैं?
देखिए आलिया, इट्स अ रियलिटी कि women never got a level playing field. ठीक है, औरतों ने बड़ी मेहनत की है. हमारे से भी जो आगे की जनरेशन थी, I think they have really paved the way for us to arrive where we have arrived in terms of our professional careers. But क्योंकि स्ट्रगल इतनी ज़्यादा थी तो फिर आप अपने घर की और पर्सनल स्ट्रगल को यू कांट ब्रिंग इट एट द वर्क प्लेस, एंड दैट वाज एक्चुअली द नॉर्म एंड काइंड ऑफ रूल्स दैट वर गिवन टू द वुमेन. देन डोंट ब्रिंग योर पर्सनल फैमिली स्टाफ और योर पर्सनल स्ट्रगल्स इनटू द वर्क प्लेस. And that's why this whole emotional burnout that I say in my article it has just been there, and it has been an invisible emotional burnout, which women have carried all the way along.
Why working moms are guilty?
Well, यही बताया गया कि अगर खातून अगर घर से निकल रही हैं और काम कर रही हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि पीछे कुछ इग्नोर कर रही हैं. And when you feel that, when you are given that feeling that you're ignoring someone at home, let it be your kids especially, then of course the guilt comes up. It's part of our social
तो
conditioning.
आपके ख्याल में कि ये सोसाइटी है जो उनको गिल्टी करती है और ये एक नैरेटिव है जो वो एब्जॉर्ब कर रही हैं,
Absolutely.
एटीट्यूड को अडॉप्ट कर रही हैं?
Absolutely. And I think that's where women and women roles, let it be the mother-in-law, let it be a sister-in-law, I think that has not helped in the society, because these messages were not only passed on by men, they were equally passed on by women. Other women also keep telling you that no, you should be at home, you should work, look after your kids, and hence this guilt and this shame, I would say, that has been passed on to the women who had the courage to go out and earn and make the most out of it for their families. But very, very unfortunate baat hai कि women have been carrying this guilt all the way through, no matter how much hard they were working for their families.
क्या वर्किंग वुमन एक ब्रेड अर्नर का रोल ले लेती है? Even if she has a husband who is supposed to be the bread earner?
Well, that's exactly what it is. Because who has defined that the man only will be the breadwinner? I think ये जो सारी stereotype है, it has to kind of go away. And if you look around, I think young couples, they're really making a lot of change and transformation in this area. A woman who is capable and who is skillful to earn the bread for the family needs to be given that liberation, freedom, and allowance that she can go out, earn, and bring the best of herself to her family. Because at the end of the day, you want happy mother. And if you have an unhappy woman, an unhappy mother, is it really what we are trying to have at our homes?
Is that what you're experiencing as a mother and as a wife?
Well, my experience has been such. I think I've been very lucky in terms of having a very supportive household. However, I think the social conditioning has played a role. For sure, I felt at different stages of my career that I have also been victim to the social conditioning. But then you have to break the stereotypes. There is no other way except to have that courage. But then also, a lot of times हम एक बड़ा cliche word use करते हैं, vulnerability, right? But then I think when I was growing up in my career, I had to really park my vulnerability, right? Which means that I had to park a part of myself outside the office in order to be that perfect employee for the company, right? But in due course, I realized that I can't leave that part outside. I had to bring it in. I had to bring my vulnerability. I had to really see my whole self as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, and as a professional, that I have brought all of that together.
As a humanist therapist, आप क्या कहती हैं कि औरतों की जद्दोजहद को समझना इतना मुश्किल क्यों है? जो आप एक इमोशनल लेबर की बात करती हैं, वो समझना क्यों इतना मुश्किल है?
I think in our society, men also, there's no other way, but men are also victims of certain social conditioning, and they have their own challenges, right? But men की masking और उनके जो defense mechanisms हैं, वो even more stronger than women, right? So I think that struggle was never ever acknowledged by men and by other men. And when women started coming to the workplaces, when they started showing up for the work, right, their struggle was also not seen. And apart from that, since as I said, that there was no level playing field, so women को अपने आप को constantly prove करना था to become successful at the workplace. And when you have a constant survival mechanism on, you really don't want to care about what is happening at the emotional side. You want to repress those emotions, and you really want to work towards your ambitions. So, like I said, a part of us is left behind. A part of us goes, forward and achieve what we want to achieve. But at the end of the day, inclusion का मतलब यही है, that we bring it all together and we see each other as humans, not as genders.
We see you, Amra, at a very successful level now. Your own mother was not a working woman. Who was your inspiration, and how come you took your career so seriously. और माशाल्लाह, as we just discussed, you are a wife, you are a mother, you have been a very obedient daughter. तो ये सब roles जो थे आपको juggle करने पड़े along with your career. So who was your main inspiration?
Well, I would say that my father, and as we all know that it's so very important. कामयाब मर्द के पीछे तो एक औरत होती है, लेकिन एक कामयाब औरत के पीछे भी एक ऐसा मर्द खड़ा होता है जो उसको हर वक्त सपोर्ट करता है. So I think in my case, I was very lucky. I had a very supportive father. And after my mother's passing, my father was very clear that I should go in a professional field. I should study. He sent me abroad to do my master's. He supported me through and through. And and I think that has really worked for me. And I was never given this, I was lucky enough, and I think a little bit different from general household in Pakistan, that I was never given gender when I was growing up. So the first 6 years of my childhood, I don't recall that I was being given a gender title, right? I used to play outside. I would do everything that my brothers were doing, or even if my sisters were doing some, cooking or stuff, I was not pushed to do that. So I think it was just the surrounding and environment that was given to me, which was very enabling for me to hone my skills.
मुझे आपकी एक बात बहुत मज़े की लगती है कि आपने करियर के साथ साथ पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट के एस्पेक्ट को नहीं ख़त्म किया. And you have actually entered a new field as a therapist. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
What made you do that?
That's my own personal journey, Alia. 2015, I started understanding about this emotional burden and the burnout that I was carrying. I had 3 children by that time. I was working in a very good company. I had a lot of support, but something was not settling in right? And that's where I went into my own therapy. And then with passing years, I wanted to explore this field a lot more. And I did this whole studies, and I did my advanced diploma. I finished it off last year, and now I'm a certified therapist. I think our journeys tell us, and there's a certain calling also that takes us there. The biggest advantage of me being a therapist and a corporate professional is, and especially from HR perspective, that I can see humans more humanistically now. And that gives me a little bit advantage, that I can maybe connect with people a little bit more. I can understand what kind of emotions they're carrying, why they are behaving in a way when they are behaving in that manner. So a little bit more empathy maybe for myself to begin with. And of course, I would love to offer it to others.
Absolutely. No, you definitely have a very unique perspective, and I would say probably a very fresh perspective when it comes to the corporate world. Continuing with that, let's have you, say a few things on our rapid fire.
Sure.
One word to describe how women are showing up at work.
Fulfilled.
One policy you would like to see abolished.
Attendance policy, if any company is having that right now.
One phrase you wish to be stopped using at workplace.
लड़की शाम को रुक नहीं सकती है. Working hours हमारे बहुत ज़्यादा हैं.
One ritual for self-care routine.
Frequent breaks. Allow yourself. Just like men have smoke breaks, allow yourself some frequent breaks.
ये बात आपकी बहुत वैसे दुरुस्त है कि मर्द तो चले जाते हैं सिगरेट की ब्रेक लेने के लिए और उन पे कोई तनकीद नहीं करता. थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में वो 10 मिनट की ब्रेक या 15 मिनट की ब्रेक फ्रेश एयर में खड़े होकर स्मोक कर लेते हैं. ख़वातीन पे वाकई में ये एक चीज़ कुछ सचती तो नहीं है, लेकिन उनकी ब्रेक्स किस तरह से काउंट की जाएंगी?
Well, I think that's why women have to become guilt-free. If you are picking up your kids, if you're dropping your kids, if you want to go and meet your kids at the daycare, by all means, please do it.
Since you're HR head also, when you're hiring somebody, a woman especially, क्या देखती हैं आप उसमें? क्या अगर आपको नज़र आ जाता है क्या एक औरत अगर हारी भी है?
I think for me, generally, the spark is something that I look in the talent, right? So every time, and it's not like that we are sitting and hiring women per se. We want to hire the best talent available. The thing is that it's always like you need to have a little bit of fire in the belly. and you need to have that spark in your personality so that you can go not for that job role only, but you can really go farther in your career. And that's generally my hiring stance. For women specifically, मुझे लगता है कि हारी हुई औरत कोई भी नहीं होती, उसको ज़माना हरा देता है. तो अगर हम उसको उंगली पकड़ा देना, एंड दिस इज़ व्हाट आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस टाइम एंड अगेन, कि आप औरत को और एक हारी हुई औरत को अगर एक उंगली पकड़ाएंगे ना, you are going to see how much she is going to shine. It's just a little bit of deliberation and having a little bit of more empathy that, okay, maybe nobody gave her that space, maybe nobody gave her that platform. What if I give that? What if she gets that opportunity, which is a lifetime one, for her to hone her skills? So that's where I come from.
It sounds like a bit of a gamble to hire a woman.
Unfortunately, some men and women have that kind of stereotype thinking as well. We are all humans and we have biases. And at times we feel that hiring a woman is a gamble. I really don't think so. I think एक हारा हुआ मर्द भी अगर मेरे साथ आके बैठेगा, I would like to give him that equal level playing opportunity. But of course, for women, the level playing field was not there. We are trying to create it. And hence, I would empathize with men and women both, right? But I would never make my decision based on कि अगर वो हारा हुआ है या नहीं.
How does this support the DEI?
So diversity, equity and inclusion, right? इसको simplest तरीके से देखा जाए तो ये बात यही है कि अब organizations में बहुत ज़्यादा awareness आ रही है कि हमें diverse opinions चाहिए, हमें लोगों को मुख्तलिफ background से hire करना है और फिर उन्हें nurture करना है ताकि company को बहुत सारा इसका फ़ायदा है. So the leaders in the companies, they have realized कि different people bring different opinions and more creativity and more innovation. And there are many studies which show that a lot of creativity, innovation, and high profitability comes when you're hiring diverse people. And of course, gender diversity, people with different abilities, these are all forms of becoming more inclusive as an organization. ख़वातीन की जहाँ तक बात है, जहाँ तक gender की बात है, I think it's very important that organizations have to see कि हर level पर you need women. Majority of the times what is happening कि आप entry level पर देखते हैं कि आपके पास एक अच्छी तादाद मौजूद है, but जैसे जैसे आप middle से senior level पे जाते हैं, number ये significantly drop करता है. So hence it is very important for the organizations now to have DEI policies, programs, और बहुत सारे इदारे अब बहुत सारा इस पे काम कर रहे हैं. They're putting all the effort to make sure that they are more diverse and more inclusive as workplaces.
Pink marker tool क्या है? And how is it used for succession planning?
Basically, I talk about this in my article. So in one of my organizations where we were trying to increase the number of women, so there was a very methodical exercise which is on the succession planning. And in that exercise, we started including the women names very deliberately in the succession plans. And we call them the pink roles or the pink marked roles. The idea was that a lot of times when it comes to leadership positions, we carry those biases, you know, and you hear those kind of boardroom meetings whereby men feel or women feel that no, maybe this particular girl or woman is not ready for that kind of elevation or that kind of a role. So this particular effort was to make sure that we are thinking about it, we are putting the names out there, and we are calling this as a pink marked role, so that these are the roles which will be given to the talented women out there. So it's a more deliberate thinking, I would say. I wouldn't say, because a lot of times what happens that these kind of things are taken as discrimination. This is not discrimination. This is just a deliberate thinking which organizations must do.
How are male managers actually reacting to this?
Yeah, like I said, that it's not a discrimination, right? We will not do discrimination, but we are going to make sure that we have a level playing field.
But has it helped?
Yes, of course, it helps. See, the biggest barrier of DEI, in the best of my understanding, is the mindset. And the mindset starts from the top. So your leaders, your line managers, they all need to understand the importance of having more women in their teams, right? And to change that mindset, organizations need to make very strong policies, processes, which really push them to think on those lines. Otherwise, हम बहुत सारी अच्छी बातें सुनते हैं और कहते हैं, but how do you really translate them into actions? And hence, there will be resistance, there is resistance, but if you have solid governance, solid processes in place, with time, things change.
After COVID, Amra, I felt कि work from home का एक ट्रेंड बना जो कंटिन्यू करता है, and is that helpful for working mothers?
Well, yes, definitely. But unfortunately, after COVID, you might be coming across many articles that now organizations need the employees to come back. The dilemma of the corporate world is that it's kind of that becomes that thing that the line managers want to see the employees in the office. That is one thing. While I do understand that sometimes this freedom of working from home can be misused as well. So I think it has to be balanced in a way. If you ask my view, it has to be balanced. The employees need to be very aware that what kind of policy is there when it comes to flexibility. Work from home might not be available all the time, but use that very mindfully to make sure that it's not misused. Because if one employee misuses the policy, the person who really needs it will not get it. So I think it's both balancing act between the employee and the employer. But by far, I am a great advocate of flexibility. I think the world has moved towards flexibility. But then we keep hearing about come back to the work, come back to workplace. That has merits. We work in teams, and the teams need to kind of be in person to work with each other. So I think there is a fine balance. One should know the needs that you have in terms of working from home, but also balancing it by working with the teams, by being in the office, by showing your presence, and taking it all together. And that's the balancing act that employees need to do.
You also write that only 25% of female students actually enter full-time workforce. There's so much advocacy going on. There's just policies and policies in place. So how to bridge this gap? Why are we not able to end this gap?
Well, yes. Every classroom that you will enter, let it be in a textile college, engineering school, medical school, computer sciences, tech, every class that you enter, you will see at least 50% girls sitting in that classroom. But how many of them are converting into the workforce? 25% is the statistics that has come from the research. I think here it's always like, the social conditioning, कि अच्छा हो कि लड़की है, अब ये 4 साल में शादी करा दे. A lot of times women are now sent to these universities to go and find a better suitable fit for themselves, right? So I think all of that is a lot of social conditioning towards these girls. And I'm not talking about, I don't want to generalize it. But my observation is that many a times it's either the girls themselves or the social environment, their homes, which kind of propel them not to go into the workforce. The other thing is that women are becoming entrepreneurs. So a lot of times I've gone to the campuses, or these young girls, they tell me that they are running some kind of business, they're doing some home-based work, right? They want to do freelance stuff. They're honing their skills in order to kind of, ताकि उन्हें office ना जाना पड़े, ठीक है? So I think that mindset is also shifting, which is great. But I think most importantly, it has to come from the homes. It has to come from the parents to encourage them that they should be financially empowered.
कुछ टिप्स आपसे पूछेंगे, especially girls who want to apply for jobs and they want to be ready. This is going to be their first interview in a corporate organization. मैं आपको इसका background ही देती हूँ कि when I started working for a law firm, तो वहाँ पे recruitment जारी थी और मैंने अपनी एक दोस्त को कहा कि तुम अप्लाई करो. उसको बुला लिया गया इंटरव्यू के लिए. When she came, गलती से उसने परफ्यूम ज़रा ज़्यादा लगा लिया था. तो जब वो कॉरिडोर्स में से चल के जा रही थी तो उसकी जो परफ्यूम की खुशबू थी वो सबको तरोताज़ा कर रही थी. I remember my boss actually saying, no, not her. She was wearing too much perfume. So this was just one thing that, is there because sometimes we think we dress really well and we overdo it.
Well, I would say flip it to test it, right? What if a man was coming with the same, and men generally sometimes use a very, very strong perfume, right? What if this was a man? What would happen then?
I don't know, you and the HR, you should tell.
I think they would have hired him. That, oh, he's taking care of his self-hygiene. You know, this will change the environment of the office. I'm sure those are going to be the comments for a man, right? So if a woman is presenting herself very well, why not we hire her? What's the insecurity maybe that's coming up here?
चलें, आप 2 या 3 tips बताइए for the young generation who are going to be starting their careers
Sure.
and going to be walking into their first interview.
Be confident and be extremely confident. Be who you are. Do a little bit of research about the company so that you're aware of the products, of the business, a little bit about the culture of the company, and you can show your knowledge about that company and about that particular job role that you're applying for. And then show that you're ambitious. At the entry level, what we want to see is that people are driven and they have ambitions and they want to achieve that ambition. And off you go. I think it's very important to talk about the women at senior levels. A lot of times we are only looking at that, okay, the girls and, they come into the workforce and all. But why this particular number becomes so significantly less? Why we have so less women CEOs? What is happening there? What is their struggles? I think to me that's a very important question. And one of the things that I'm very fond of these days is sponsorship. I think the men need to become an ally, and more than that, they need to sponsor women now. They need to open the doors for them. They need to open the opportunities for them and be the ally, like a true partner. I think that's going to change the world a lot.
Thank you so much, Amra. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
I'm really grateful for our guest and her insightful advice. आपने देखा कि entry level पे इनकी कितनी अच्छी advice थी, कितना confidence ज़रूरी है, कितना ambition ज़रूरी है. लेकिन इसके साथ साथ जो चीज़ बहुत important थी वो ये थी कि allies होने चाहिए. जो allies हैं वो आपका supporting mechanism है. और ये कौन allies हैं? हमारे वालिदैन, our husbands, our families, our friends. These allies need to support women to be at the forefront. Definitely there will be emotional burnout, but these allies can help us through that journey. Please give your comments and do follow us.